Let's talk about the Dodgers. Yes, sir! Congratulations to the Dodgers for winning the World Series. Now, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I posted on my Instagram story last night. I tweeted out Dodgers fan since day one. And in reply, someone on my subreddit posted, "Who invited my man Blood? Bro thinks he's on the team. Lifelong fan since 2024. He's looking more Bieber-y every day. He better hope Diddy stays in jail." What are you typing on the subreddit, man? Anyway, I've been accused of being a bandwagon Dodgers fan. And I'm here to tell you once and for all, I am not just a bandwagon Dodgers fan. I'm a bandwagon baseball fan, and I'm proud of it. Let me explain. I was one of those people for years who was in the camp of baseball is a bad sport. I hate baseball. Baseball sucks. I believed this in my heart of hearts because, frankly, I was from New Hampshire. I never played baseball growing up. My family is not American, and importantly, I grew up without a father. And even if my father was around, I don't think he would have given a fuck about baseball. And it feels like baseball as a sport is one that is passed down generationally. That is the case with most sports. But baseball, even more specifically, you have the images, you can imagine the imagery. Dad throwing the fucking ball to his son in the fucking yard, taking him to his first game to drink his first beer. You know what I mean? There's a cultural aspect to baseball. Since I had none of that, to me, I looked at it from an objective point of view. What is baseball? 4 hours of 40-year-old looking men occasionally doing somewhat athletic feats of hitting a ball and then running around a base of hitting a ball and then running around a base, mildly quick. That's what it looked like to me. And I was like, damn, this is one of the most boring sports ever. Compared to soccer, where there's almost no downtime in action and the peaks of action are incredibly high, or football, where there's a lot of downtime, but at least every time they are on the field, it's incredibly hype. Or basketball, which I think is the greatest spectator sport. Baseball, down there for me. I had affirmed this feeling when my mom took me to my first ever baseball game. Because I remember it vividly. My mom, July 2007, took me to see a Boston Red Sox game. Now, I think my mom did this not because she's a massive baseball fan, but she did it because I didn't have pops around. And she was like, oh, this would be a nice thing to do for my son to, what do men do? Baseball. Sure. So we drove on down to Fenway from New Hampshire, and we went to our first baseball game, my first baseball game, and her first baseball game. And you might be thinking, oh, that's really sweet. And it is sweet. One key issue in this story, it was both our first baseball game. I am 12. I don't know the rules of baseball. I know they hit it. I know they run around the base. I generally know about balls and strikes. I don't know what ER is, BB is. I don't know any of these damn acronyms. I don't know the difference between a four-seam fastball, a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. And I promise you, my French mother does not either. You're saying just Google it and this is embarrassing? This is before there were iPhones. So back in 2007, what you could do is you could text a number and the number would come up with an automated response to certain questions. Basically like Ask Jeeves. I think you could text Ask Jeeves in 2007, but this was not a Google situation. And I left it, although having had a good time with my mother, reaffirming baseball is a bad sport. And I've held this feeling until a couple of years ago. Because a couple of years ago, Cutie's family was coming into town, right? And one of the things her dad likes doing, her dad, classic American man, is watching baseball. And so she went to me and she's like, hey, well, my dad kind of wants to go to a baseball game. Would you maybe get some tickets for him and the other guys? I was like, sure, why not? And so I decided to look for baseball tickets at the baseball stadium near Disney, because that's where the rest of the family is going, which turns out to be the Los Angeles Angels. And I'm looking for like the best tickets online, right? I'm trying to like be a good boyfriend here. So I'm looking for the best tickets online. They were $7. The tickets were literally $7. They were maybe like 7 rows behind where they would hit the damn ball. This is like a Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. And I'm like, damn, that's a good deal. So I buy a boatload of them. We go. The tickets are as amazing as they looked online. The stadium is also half empty. It is basically empty, right? When you look out into the stands, they are not filled with people. They are filled with seats with no people in them, right? A home run ball is hit, nobody crowds around to go get it. They're like, oh shit, that's a walk though. I'm good. And so I'm chilling with the family watching the baseball game. And I, wanting to be a good patron, I'm like, you know what? Let me get into this. Let me go get a jersey. And I do a quick cursory Google search on who's on the team. And there really seems to be only 2 players on this team that are worth paying any attention to. One is Mike Trout, who was injured and not playing. The other one is Shohei Ohtani, who's this Japanese dude. And at the time, back then, this is like a year or 2 ago, I was more into this country called Japan. I was like vaguely interested in the country. Like nowadays, I don't give a shit. But like back then, I was like watching a lot of videos about the country of Japan. I was watching some anime, and I was like, fuck it, bro. I'll get a Shohei Ohtani jersey. In fact, this is it right here. I got that jersey for maybe like $80. They were handing that shit out, bro. I even remember watching this game. I think at some point I got a hot dog and a beer. Both the hot dog individually and the beer individually were more expensive than the ticket for the game. And I remember thinking, that's fucking crazy. So anyway, the game happens. Angels lose, obviously. And I left thinking, you know what was cool was the affordability of these tickets, the atmosphere of being in the stadium, but I did not leave thinking baseball is a great sport. Fast forward to today, the guy whose jersey I bought, I see in the news, was signed to the biggest contract in like baseball history. $700 million contract for Shohei Ohtani. I'm like, damn, 7 XQCs? That's crazy. And he's not only signed to $700 million, he's signed to the Dodgers, which is a stadium that's much closer to me. And I instantly swapped my alliances. I've never been a big Red Sox fan because I wasn't a big fan of baseball growing up. I wasn't really an Angels fan because you can only root for them until the postseason. And so when he's on the Dodgers, I'm like, I'm all in. But I'm still not sure if I'm sold on baseball until Stan's cat dies. Rest in peace, Einstein. A real one. Stan's cat, like a couple of weeks ago, had suddenly passed away. And being a man who is unsure of how to talk to other men about emotions and whatnot, me and H-Rock are like, fuck, we should do some shit. And we're like, what is a thing that men do? And we're like, baseball? And so, we pitch it and we try to get some nice tickets to a baseball game. And we end up getting they're called Right Home Run Club tickets. Just some random ass tickets that looked pretty good to a World Series game. This game changed baseball for me. I think it's also due to the rule changes. I think they've made baseball a better sport. They added a pitch clock. They changed how OT works. The game moves pretty fast now. You go to a game, bro, it's like 2.5 hours sometimes. You're out of there. They patched baseball. Because before, you could be there 4 hours. It wouldn't really be that out of the ordinary. There are games this season that were less than 2 hours long. It has sped up the game dramatically. Personally, as a non-legacy, non-traditional baseball fan, I think it's hype. My experience with baseball before was basically watching videos of John Boy breaking it down. And now I can actually watch a game and not, be bored out of my mind. While I'm watching this game, we are sitting in seats where you could catch a home run ball. I turn to Stan's, I go, my dream, Shohei Ohtani. Bases loaded. Hits a fucking dinger, 350 feet, I catch it. He's like, yeah, obviously that's your fucking dream. It wasn't Shohei, but what do you know? This dude, Freddie, walks up to the plate. Or excuse me, it's not Freddie, it's Teoscar. Hits a fucking dinger.
That's driven the other way. Deep right center field. Judge is back. It is gone.
And if you zoom and enhance, you can see that is me right there. This is literally me right here. And this is the World Series home run ball that Teoscar just hit. In that moment, that exact hit, I became an actual baseball fan. It was literally that home run hit. The fact that it landed that close to me, I could have caught a home run ball, sparked a childlike wonder in my heart. After this dude caught that home run ball, by the way, he was on his phone for the next hour and a half of the game. He did not say a fucking word to anyone around him. People would go up to him. He'd be like, yeah, okay. He called everyone in his contact book. I could hear the conversations. Yep, just now. Yeah, I fucking caught it just now. No, it's in my glove. I don't know if I'll sell it. No, it's there right now. I know. Stans later told me that it's kind of cringe for an adult to bring a glove. I secretly thought in the back of my head, I wish I had a glove. Would have been fucking great to have a glove right there. And I became, in that moment, a hardcore baseball fan. To the point where I was getting an attitude about it too. Like, the Dodgers ended up winning that game. That was game 2 of the World Series. As we're leaving the stadium, there's 2 Ludwig viewers who have Yankees jerseys on, and they go, hey, Ludwig. And they're above as I'm exiting. And now feeling like I'm a lifelong Dodgers fan, instead of going, dude, what's up, guys? How's it going? Hey, good to see you. I go, get fucked, and I walk away because I felt like that was the appropriate response as a baseball fan now. I felt like that's what I should tell someone in a Yankees jersey as a newfound Dodgers fan. They're rooting for the wrong team. So anyway, now I'm sucked in. I literally cut stream short the other night to watch all of Game 4 with Nick Yingling. Last night, it is Game 5 of the World Series. The Dodgers are leading 3-1, and they are down 0-5 to the Yankees. As the game starts to heat up a bit, I'm at the world premiere for Arcane, the League of Legends show, a game that I've recently become obsessed with, a show where I loved season 1. I'm in like a fancy ass suit. I'm there with Cutie and a couple of friends. I had a box of popcorn. I put my phone at the lowest brightness. I shoveled the popcorn in my mouth to make some room and put it at the bottom of the box. So no one could see my phone except for me if I happened to lean over to grab some popcorn at a certain position. I'm not proud of this fact. This is just a reality of what baseball has done to me. It has warped me as a man. I swear to God, I promise you as a man in this world on my life, it was not a distraction to those around me. There were other people with their phones out. I guess maybe premieres are a different game, especially in LA. This was like, it was like Death Note, I eat a chip. It was like Death Note. The cameras would not have caught me watching the news to write down the names of people here. As I'm watching Arcane, I lean over. I start to see this glorious comeback by the Dodgers in the 5th inning, who are down 0-5 to the Yankees. As they're down 0-5, I literally bought tickets to go to Game 6. I'm like, son of a bitch. And they mount this glorious comeback. 5 runnings in a single inning. And then I watch the rest of it after the premiere ends. Bottom of the 9th inning, explaining to Poe Belter how baseball works. Pretending I'm the baseball guy now. Moral of the story, I'm now a lifelong baseball fan. And I'm married to the Dodgers. And it's all because a Japanese guy happened to play for a dog shit team for $7 tickets in Anaheim after being a lifelong hater. Am I a fake fan? Fuck yeah. I became a fan of the team that won the World Series with the most highest paid player ever in the MVP of the league. But now I'm locked for life. I'm locked for life. If the Dodgers suck in 30 years, I'll still be a Dodgers fan. They can be the most horrendous, ugly ass, disgusting team in 30 years, filled with slinging criminals. I'll be against that, but I'll still be a fan.